Hey everyone, Skull902 back here again. This is Sonic 3 and Knuckles as Knuckles. This is part 8, and we're going to be going into Sandopolis Zone. But before we do that, I would like to mention something that I forgot. I always have to mention something that I forgot or that I got wrong in the previous part's commentary. Every part of every LP I think I've ever done, I have to correct myself about some fucking thing. And it makes me sad. I wish that I was a better commentator than that, but I guess that's just the way that it is. But anyway, the thing that I want to mention is about rankles. In the advertisement, I forgot to mention my favorite thing about the whole contest advertisement thing, but during the part of it where they were explaining that Rankles was their original OC Don't Steal, it was like something along the lines of, it said, if you've seen Rankles in the game, you need to go to Alcoholics Anonymous because we made him up. And I think that's absolutely just fucking lovely. But yeah. Aside from that, now we are in Sandopolis. Boring ass zone that it is. There's a couple things I probably could have mentioned when I was playing this as Sonic. So we've run into Skorps again, and I might just rant about Skorps again and how evil Skorps is, and just how inferior he is to Monkey Dude. Skorps is such a little bitch. And, you know, I'll tell you guys a story. Because this just demonstrates how evil that Skorps is. You know, there's this one tale from the Monkey Dude Bible. Fuck you, Skorps, for hitting me again. From the Monkey Dude Bible, where you know, Monkey Dude was just, you know, trying to demonstrate that he could, you know, live without food or water for 40 days. And so he just chilled on top of a hill, and then Skorps came by, and Skorps every single day, Skorps came by and was like, "Hey, Monkey Dude, I'm gonna tempt you into doing something bad," and then Monkey Dude would simply respond, "Be gone, evil beast," and so, you know, Skorps had to go away after Monkey Dude said that. I totally didn't lift that from the Bible at all. But yeah, Skorps is an evil motherfucker, and he's awful, and I hate him. Oh, Jesus. But, another thing that I would like to mention, is about the enemies in Sandopolis Zone in particular is, I don't know what they call him, but they probably call him something generic like Sandworm or whatever, but he's like a blue caterpillar from Sonic 1, like, you see him right there. He just pops out of the sand in an arc. And I've got to imagine that there was like some kind of naming confusion, because there's an enemy in Angel Island Zone that they call Caterkiller Jr., but it you know, obviously that's Angel Island Zone, it's not here. And that has me a bit confused, because like, you know, you would think the one that looks exactly like Caterkiller but blue would be named Caterkiller Jr., so was it like something that they intended to do? You know, but someone just screwed up when typing out the manuals, or I don't know, but it's something to think about. Something to think. The conspiracy. Caterkiller Jr., there was a baby switch in the hospital. There was totally a baby switch in the hospital, and like, Caterkiller Jr. Never resembled his father, and it was always a source of contention in the Caterkiller family. Why doesn't my baby look like me? Have you been cheating? Okay, enough of the silliness. But even more things about the enemies here in Sandopolis is like the stuff that they kind of lifted from this zone to put in Sonic Adventure 2. That I think is kind of interesting. because like in Sonic Adventure 2, you've got all the pyramid levels, and you'll see ghosts. You'll see another egg golem. So I think it's a neato thing that they perhaps maybe they did do it as like a reference to this game. It was an anniversary game after all. Sonic Adventure 2 was, so you know, that would be a neat little way to do that for all the players that maybe hadn't played Sonic and Knuckles yet, or preferably 3 and Knuckles, because, you know, it's just not complete if you don't have the combined games. But thankfully no Skorps adaptation though. Just the ghosts and the egg golem and the whole desert pyramid aesthetic, which the desert aesthetic has never really been one of my favorites, but you know, whatever. Oh goodness, what else was I gonna say about Adventure 2? I don't know, whatever. The ghosts. This is what I'm remembering now. According to Rabid, I was like rewatching my 3 and Knuckles live stream from back in January, and I'm like, I remembered, or rather rewatched, or whatever. There was a conversation that he and I had about the ghosts, and apparently the ghosts that we see in Act 2 here of Sandopolis, as well as the ones in Sonic Adventure 2, are named Boos. Now, any Mario fan would know that the ghosts in the Mario franchise are also named Boos. So, I'm kind of wondering how Sega got away with doing that. More so in the Genesis era, because it seems like that's, you know, it doesn't even seem like, that's definitely when the two companies were at each other's throats and doing whatever to get the other one down. That, like, I guess Boo is too generic of a name to copyright, so especially when it concerns a ghost, because that's just a word that's very commonly associated with ghosts. But it's still, at the same time, I can't think of any sort of material or whatever that says that Nintendo raised a stink about it. So, like, I don't know, man. I just don't know. Sega, like, they weren't even trying to hide it, but apparently Nintendo didn't care, because Nintendo are cool guys. Except, of course, when you try to let's play their games, but I'm not, like, legit complaining about that. So, aside from that, I'd like to talk about this one advertisement that I saw just before doing this video of Sonic and Knuckles. It was a Blockbuster-specific ad, so what I've got to imagine is that they had it on a tape with like a loop of ads that would play in the store when, you know, customers were around shopping for all their tapes. And if there's something I can just say as an aside from this, I really miss going to the fucking video store. There's like one around me locally that I really want to go to, but that is an experience that a lot of younger folk are really missing out on. That was some of the funnest shit you could do. Anyway, the Sonic and Knuckles ad was just playing along, and I couldn't help but think, like, I'd heard the narrator in this commercial before, and I swear to God it was like the same dude that was doing all the trailers for Disney movies back in the 90s, who has, like, probably one of the best voices I think I've ever heard, because, like, goddamn, like, that was perfect for Disney. So it was kind of weird to hear him in something else, to be perfectly honest, but that wasn't, like, the weirdest thing about the commercial. The weirdest thing, in my opinion, about the commercial was, like, it was totally false advertising, because they were talking about the lock-on feature, and Disney voiceover guy was like, you lock on Sonic 2, and you lock on Sonic 3, and boom, you get new adventures. No, you fucking don't. Sonic 2 is exactly the same, but with Knuckles. And then when you lock Sonic 3 on, it's just, the games, but the way that they were originally intended to be played. So, fuck you, false advertising Disney guy. Fuck you. Now, here's something actually that Knuckles' climb ability can really benefit you, because unlike in Sonic's Run, you don't have to activate the sort of sand pouring things. You can do this without it being another timed crushing section. Though, be careful if you're doing it as Hyper Knuckles, because like you guys saw the crossfade, and there's some weird glitch where this can happen with Hypersonic too, where if you activate it with like the screen nukes, either the wall pound thingy that Knuckles has, or the double jump like that Sonic has in his hyper form, it can glitch out the sand rising, and it'll actually like be halfway up, so it'll be above you, and there's collision obviously on the sand, so like you can't get through. Once it stops, you're fucked. So that's how I died. I had to I didn't have to time over, but I just ran out of my rings because I was Hyper Knuckles during the first try, and fuck's sake, I fucking hate that when it does that, because it's so annoying. And I was actually doing pretty good. Now here's a nice little secret fucking extra ring. And that was one of the reasons. I was like, man, I was doing so good on my rings. What the fuck, man? It's just really strange. That can happen. But again, it's a game from 1994. And, stuff like that is bound to happen sometimes. And it doesn't detract from the game's overall quality, in my opinion. Sonic & Knuckles is a fine game. Sonic 3 & Knuckles, I should say, because that is the whole game that I'm playing here. It's just a weird glitch that happens. Another weird glitch that happens, actually, it can happen in Sandopolis Zone, so I guess technically it is relevant to the commentary here. It can also happen in Mushroom Hill Zone. I don't think it did when I was playing it here, but when you fight the boss in Mushroom Hill, and when you fight him here, sometimes it can appear as Robotnik instead of the EggRobo, which I again find somewhat strange. But again, it's just something that can happen. It seems to be like completely random, not like triggered by anything. And it's not for the same reason, obviously, that it does for Flying Battery, that it's a unique sprite. Again, like all of the sprites of Eggman in the cockpit, aside from Flying Battery, are all the same one. So it's just kind of weird. And also, if you do the glitches where you can get Sonic, when you get Knuckles onto Sonic's path in Marble Garden and goodness, what's the other one? Carnival Night Zone, to fight Sonic's bosses, I believe Eggman will also appear in the cockpits. Though I could be wrong. It could be like the other way around. Like if you can get Sonic into Knuckles' boss in Marble Garden for sure, and it'll be Eggman in the same sort of boss that Knuckles has to fight. I fucking hate this boss, by the way, because of the funky timing. Just God, you saw it in my gameplay. I was struggling to kind of jump up and get a hit on him, but whatever. It's done, and I'll see you guys in the finale of Sonic 3 & Knuckles: The Knuckles Run next time. Have a wonderful day.